If you're just tuning in, my name is Mike Ficsacardi, and if you had seen a couple episodes back, I installed the entire emission system on my totaled 2019 Subaru WRX. Everything worked, however, one of the TGVs, in particular, the one on the passenger side, was stuck closed, and I was getting a check engine light still for that. Now, I bought this emission system used off of eBay for a fairly good price, the EGR valve and both TGVs. So, I mean, this happens. That's the reality of used parts. Luckily, the seller was more than happy to rectify the situation and sent me out another TGV. So this will be for the passenger side. We'll get this installed and hopefully we do not get a check engine light. So let's get on with the install. This is the offending side that is stuck closed. So we are going to loosen these 4 bolts here, and we're going to loosen the other ones but not take them out on the other side, just so we can have a little bit of wiggle room. So let's get started here. First, we'll disconnect the electrical connector, and then we'll loosen these 4 12mm bolts. We'll get this hose out of our way too. And we'll move on to the other side. We'll loosen this one down here. We'll move back to this side and we'll fully remove these bolts now. Okay, hopefully with those 4 removed, now we should hopefully have enough wiggle room to get this TGV out. Not enough. Let me go ahead and loosen up the other side a little more. Okay. There, that one's out. Make sure your gaskets are not ruined. Alright, and now we'll go in with the other TGV. You know what, to make it easier, let's see if loosening some of this EGR valve system will help, because it's just a little too tight and I don't want to damage anything. 2 12mm bolts. Let me move this bracket out of my way. 14 mil holding that in place. Definitely gives you much more room. I have to just reset this position. There are gaskets underneath your intake manifold on the top and on the bottom. Be careful not to pinch those when putting in the TGV. That's why I loosened up the EGR valve system and the other side of the intake manifold, just so we don't cause any damage to the gaskets, so they don't fall into the engine and we don't pinch them, so everything makes a good seal. Now when you have everything loosened up, you should be able to just slide this in from the back. Make sure everything is nicely lined up and you could start running your bolts back in. These 12mm bolts, just do them by hand at first to make sure you don't strip anything. We'll get everything tight. Again, the order doesn't matter. And then after we get everything nice and tight here, we will come back and torque everything down to spec. This way we don't forget like last time. Let's get this stuff tight for now. Remember, we got to come back and torque all this down. While we're here, we'll plug in the TGV so we don't forget that. Okay, and now we will go ahead and torque everything down properly. These bolts will be 14 foot-pounds. The same thing with these bolts here. These will also be 14 foot-pounds. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that these are also tight. There should be 14 foot-pounds as well. Yep. Okay, that's good. We'll go ahead and put this mount back for this wiring harness. Now that it was out of our way, it's a 14mm bolt. I don't know any torque spec on this one, but we're just gonna get it tight. And now the TGV bolts will get to 20 foot-pounds. We lost our socket. Good thing I have a magnet. Get that out. All right, let's not forget to put our hoses back in the right spot. Remember, we disconnected this one. This one connects back to here. Get yourself a set of hose clamp pliers. These really help a lot. We'll give you guys a cold start. Let's make sure everything works, and I'm going to reset the check engine light, and we'll see if we get another TGV code. Hopefully this is a fix, but enjoy the cold start. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and reset the codes. Key in the ignition. We'll use our cob access port. We will reset the ECU. Take the key out of the ignition, give it about 15-20 seconds to reset. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn the car on. Now we will check for codes. There we go. So that worked. I have a code for mass airflow sensor circuit low. That's because I have it unplugged. And then intake temp sensor circuit high. We'll have to figure that one out on another episode, but it may be tied in with the mass airflow sensor. But as you guys can see, we no longer have a code for the right side TGV being stuck closed. So that was a successful repair. The other one we had was just broken. The solenoid is probably not working, or it has a mechanical failure. I'll send that back to the guy I bought it from, and that'll be it. Well, you know what guys, after a successful job like that, it calls for a toolbox delight. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh, hell yeah, we got a Twix, my favorite. Now that is what we call a toolbox delight. If you made it this far, you are my hero. Please comment hashtag toolbox delight. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit that like button, subscribe, let's grow this channel. I need your help, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.